got to get out and vote. Remember that, folks. No matter what's going on in your life, if you're feeling miserable, if you're depressed, if you're down, if you're whatever the hell, you lost your job, like everybody else is losing their job, you have to get out and you have to vote. Because, I was watching today television. They said, well, if Trump, we get by far the biggest crowd. It's like, it's not even a contest. So they said, well, if those people actually go out and vote, but you know, the dishonest press back there, they say, but I don't think they will. I think they will. But they said, if they actually go out and vote, the people that show up, like in Iowa, like massive, the same thing, Virginia, Dallas, Oklahoma, South Carolina, North Carolina, we have these massive rallies, and it's incredible. And they said, well, if they vote, Trump wins. They actually said that. Probably. We have to get out, we have to get out, we have to vote. Okay, so, you know, we've had some amazing news. I've missed this, you know, for like a week and a half, we've sort of been in limbo, right? All I could do was tweet. It was driving me crazy because there were no, like, events or anything planned, but we all had a good Christmas, right? Merry Christmas. We say Merry Christmas. Other people won't say Merry Christmas. They'll say, oh, Happy Holiday. Happy Holiday. Merry Christmas. The polls have been fantastic. You've seen the polls that just came out, and today one came out, Rasmussen, where I'm tied with Hillary, but don't worry, that's going to end. We're going to be far ahead. And Fox came out a couple of weeks ago, and we were leading, and another one came out, we were leading. We're doing very well. We haven't started on her. You know, she says, oh, we'd love to run against Trump. It's her worst nightmare. These people back here, they said, well, the Hillary campaign said they'd love to run. Yeah, she wants to run against me instead of somebody else. I guarantee you. You know, I try to explain to Chuck Todd and all these guys, you don't understand, Chuck. When they say they want to run against Trump, that means they don't want to run against Trump. They don't understand. You know, they report, yes. But then tonight, somebody reported that they are absolutely going crazy and they are devastated over what Trump is saying. Right. Now we're getting back to the basics, okay? Right. Look at what's happened with the Republicans. Yeah. Every single person that's gone after me is gone. Yeah. They're gone. They're gone. When I say gone, they've either left the race or they're down in the very, very low portion. They're low. Yeah, you just said one. But they're low. With all the millions that we're spending, and I mean, they're spending, I guess, so you saw the one where I've spent essentially nothing, and Bush has spent $59 million. He's down toward the bottom with 3% or 2% or something, and we actually had a poll come out 42%. We had 39%. Look at these polls, it's crazy. We have numbers. We have to go through them, right? Go through them for a second. You know, they always say, why do you go through the polls? Because I'm winning. Honestly, if I wasn't, I have to be honest. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be talking about him. Okay? And the other candidates, he always talks about the polls. We don't. Well, they shouldn't because they're not winning. So we have a lot of good ones. CNN, 36%. Think of it. Cruz is 16, Carson's 14, Rubio's 12, Christie's 4, Bush is 3. How about this? You spend $59 million in your three. But you know what's impressive is the economy. Trump is 55%. On the budget, Trump is 51%. How about this? And remember, that's out of 15 people. You know what, 17 now, it's 15 now, it's up 14, and it's going down. It's going to go down quickly. By the way, one thing I have to say, New Hampshire will always maintain its place if I win. Okay, just so you understand. You know, there's a big movement. There's a big movement to put you at the back of the pack or the middle of the pack, so it would no longer be the same thing. You'll never see me again, but you will see me because I have so many friends. You'll never see a lot of people again. But there's a big movement to put New Hampshire way back. I don't know why. I don't know. Is it retribution? Is it they don't want it? They don't like it? Because you have a lot of power. I mean, you have a lot of power. And they have problems. I mean, they have a heroin problem that's really incredible. I mean, I hear so much about that from the people up here. And, you know, we're going to build a wall. We're going to have a real border. That whole heroin thing, I'll tell you what, we've got to get it under control. But I hear more about it from here than I do anywhere else. You don't think of it in terms of New Hampshire, but whenever I'm up here, I hear more about it here. And we got to solve the problem, and we got to help the people that are hooked, because they get hooked, and it's not easy. But on the budget, I'm 51%. That's 51% with 14, and actually when they did this, 15 people. See, 51%. I'd be happy if I had 51% with 2 people, right? Okay? On illegal immigration, listen to this, 48%, because they know I'm not going to play games. I saw one of the people that I'm running against the other day. They came up and they said, "We're going to build a wall." It's the first time he said that. My wife was listening. She said, "No, he's copying you." He said the exact same words. He said, "It's going to be a big wall. It's going to be a great wall." And he said the same words. I listened to it. I listened to it. I said, "What are we doing here?" The guy's copying. You know, if you remember, when I started this whole dialogue, and we announced it June 16th at Trump Tower, and I said, illegal immigration, and we're going to stop it. Everybody said, "Oh," and I went through papers, and I was getting absolutely... Rush Limbaugh, who's like a great guy, said he's never seen anybody receive so much incoming. I was getting... These guys were killing me. And then within 2-3 weeks, all of a sudden, it's sort of like... People were saying, I think he's right. And then you had Kate, beautiful Kate from San Francisco, you had Camille from Los Angeles. You had a woman, a female, a veteran, a wonderful woman, 66-year-old veteran, who was raped, who was sodomized, who was killed by an illegal immigrant who was here, who was not supposed to be here, came in a number of times. Like the Kate horrible person came in 5 different times, at least that they know of. And all of a sudden, and these are 3 instances, we have thousands. It's out of control. Horrible for the economy, taking our jobs, taking our money. It's a one-way street. They come over, they bring drugs, a lot of drugs. You people know better than anybody because you're really the recipient of that. But they come over with drugs, they go back with cash. Okay? Yeah. Not a good deal. That's it. And they go over walls, and you saw the ramp. They built a little ramp. The walls are small. They built a ramp. The trucks drive over the wall. They have jeeps. They're loaded up with drugs. They drive over the wall. They didn't even rip the wall down. The wall's so small, they said, "Let's just put a ramp up." It would have been easier. They should have ripped the wall down. No, those are not Trump walls. They are not Trump walls. So, illegal immigration, 48%. ISIS. Oh, did ISIS. Look at that. Knock the hell out of them. We're going to do a job. We're going to get the real general. They may not have nice language. You know, we got rid of one of our best generals because he was very rough and tough, even though the men and women that were under him loved him. But very tough, and gave an interview, and he used foul language, and he said things, and, Now, of course, our generals shouldn't be talking. They should be shooting. They should be out there. Did you ever see generals? They're always interviewed. They're always on television, generals. And they're always saying how bad we are. One of them just said, like, they were talking about ISIS. So what do you think? Oh, it's a very tough problem. Tough problem. Can you imagine General Douglas MacArthur saying, "Oh, ISIS is a tough problem"? He'd come up with this corncob pipe in his hat. And I'll tell you, it would be, or General George Patton. It would be over fast, folks. It would be over. It would be brutal, but it would be over. We wouldn't be fighting the endless war. I have been saying, take the oil, bomb the oil, kill the oil for years. They started doing it 3-4 weeks ago. And they don't do it right. You know why? They don't want to hurt the environment. No, this is the truth. They don't want to hurt the environment. Okay? We have a president that considers global warming to be more important than fighting wars of people that want to blow up our country, blow up our cities, kill our people. And he said global warming is our biggest problem. I don't, it's hard. The whole thing is crazy. Okay. Foreign policy, Trump wins with 30%. So here's some good numbers. Morning consult. Listen to these numbers. I don't know. Are they right? 40% for Trump, 9% for Cruz, everyone else way below that. ABC Washington Post. Great company, right? I don't love the Washington Post, actually, because they treat me good in the polls. Okay? Nobody's going to say they give me any favors. That I can tell you. 38% for Trump, 15% 12%, 11, then you get into the singles, right? The Monmouth poll, 41 to 14. PPP Iowa, came out recently. 28 to 25, Trump over Cruz. They don't tell you that. They only go to the one poll, the Des Moines Register, which I have a big problem with. Between that and the union leader, which I think might be worse. Okay, what a pile of garbage that newspaper. But I'll tell you about it. Should I tell you about what happened? Yeah. You know, you've heard a lot of the stories, so let's talk about the union leader, how dishonest. Okay, CNN. 36, he's a national, 36 to 16, right? Monmouth poll, 41-14. Fox, 39-16. 39-16. Listen to these numbers. I demand the election be today. In Iowa, a CNN poll, which was so one-sided that it never gets reported other than by CNN, actually. 33 to 20. Trump is at 33, Cruz is at 20. That's an Iowa poll. You don't hear about it. They only talked about this crazy Bloomberg, whatever it is, poll. It was, which was frankly fine, but it wasn't. It's one of the few polls where I'm actually behind. It's Iowa, and I think the people in Iowa, I think we're going to win it. And I really do. I think we're going to win it. We have, like New Hampshire, like South Carolina, we have great friends in Iowa, and I think we're going to win it. My people think we're going to win it, but we'll find out. I mean, we're going to find out. If we don't, I know we're going to do well, but I think we're going to win it. PPP, thank you. We're going to win New Hampshire, right? It's like this everywhere. And sometimes, we're only confined, like this is a nice room, but it's a little smaller room, because we have thousands of people outside. I'm going to do a second one after this. You believe it? Unless you want to give them your location and let them switch. Yes? No. I don't think it. But we have such incredible enthusiasm. You go to these meetings, and even the press rallies, and even the press says it's incredible. When we were in Oklahoma, 20,000 people standing in a park. We couldn't get a building to hold it. We just said, let's do it in the park. It was a very windy day, so I put the hat on. Make America great. Do you love that? And in Dallas, we had 20,000 people in the Mavericks, where the Mavericks play. Mark Cuban was great. He gave us the arena, and he said, "You fill it up fast," and he was right. We started on Thursday, and on Monday we were packed, and we were actually packed before that, but on Monday we came, and it was an amazing event. And in Mobile, Alabama, we had 35,000 people. We started in a hotel ballroom. After about 2 minutes, that was no good, because the people, they heard we were there. And we don't have a long time. We set it up like a few days in advance sometimes. But in Mobile, we started off at a ball. We went to a convention center which held 10,000. After about 2 hours, we realized that wasn't going to work, so we just went to the football stadium. The place was packed. You probably saw that. So we just, in Phoenix, we have 15,000 people. It's been unbelievable. You saw the other one where we pulled the plane up in front of a big hangar. That was a massive hangar. The place was packed. Forgive me, we would show with that plane. I'll tell you, that was good, right? That was a good visual. Everybody loved it, but it was great. That plane was made in America. We don't say that. It's both. So in Iowa, we had PPP 28-25, you had Quinnipiac, and my favorite, Quinnipiac 28-27, and as I said, CNN 33-20 in my favor. So I think we're going to do great in Iowa. I'm looking forward to Iowa. And, we're down to almost like 4 weeks. Can you believe this? I mean, how quickly it goes. When I started on this journey, it was actually June 16th, but thinking about it a little before, and it takes guts to run for president. It really does, especially, I'm not a politician. I never did this before. I'm self-funding, by the way. All these guys are taking money. They're all bloodsuckers. They're all taking money. They're all controlled. They're all controlled by the people that put up the money, believe me. And I used to put up a lot of money. I paid $350,000 to the Republican Governors Association. Just a little while ago during the year, and it's I understand it, and I'm not blaming anyone. It's the system, and but it's a bad system in terms of making our country great again, in terms of rebuilding what we have to do, the infrastructure, in terms of being smart. Like, for instance, Putin said Trump is great. And Trump I don't know Putin. We did do 60 Minutes together. Now, we weren't together, but he was on, I was on the same night. We got great ratings, by the way. Even CBS will admit that. We got great ratings. But it was Putin and Trump were on 60 Minutes. But he came out, he said Trump is great, and Trump is leading the pack. Trump is, all positive stuff. And my opponent said, isn't that terrible that he said? What's terrible? Let's get along with people. What is terrible? We'll do fine. Believe me, we're going to do fine. But having Russia on our side, instead of, these guys want to start, some of them want to start the Third World War. Let's start Third World War. Let's have no-fly zones. This is what these guys want to do. Let's start shooting down everybody's airplanes over Syria. I think maybe we have other ideas. But if they want to bomb ISIS, I've said this right from the beginning, you know it. If Russia wants to go and bomb ISIS, I agree. If Russia wants to bomb ISIS, excuse me, go ahead. Go ahead. Hey. And they don't like ISIS any better than we do, folks. You hear the whole thing. Now, we can't fight Syria and Assad, who's not a good guy, but we're backing people to fight Assad. We have no idea. Look at Hillary Clinton, what happened with Libya. Look at that. Now look what she did with his, you take a look at Libya. You look at what Obama's done with Iran. I mean, Iran is becoming a force. We gave them $150 billion.
He's a traitor.
We gave them everything they wanted. We didn't win anything. We don't even get our prisoners back. And you look at that deal and you just see gross incompetence, gross stupidity. That's what it is. And now Iran is taking over Iraq. And I said this, it's funny, I never put it together. I put things together really quickly, especially when it involves economics. So I said that Iran made the single greatest deal that I've ever seen made.
Brilliant.
And I'm not talking about country. I'm just saying our side was incompetently represented. The Persians are great negotiators. And they just beat us at every front. They got everything. How about self-inspection? How about taking a self-inspection? They would say, no, we're not building nuclear there. You can take our word for it. And then on the other case, we have 24 hours. But before the 24 days starts, what happens? We have to go through a process. And the process could take a long time, right? So it's ridiculous. So we made this horrible deal. And I keep talking about what a horrible deal. Then I said, wait a minute. Look at us. And I was against this from the beginning. I'm the most militaristic person in this room. But I was against, right? No, I mean, look, I am. But you got to know what you're doing. I'd like to build up I'm going to build it up so strong, so powerful, nobody's going to mess it. And we're going to take care of our vets. Where's my man? Where the hell is my man? Are we going to take care of our vets? Our vets, in many cases, are treated worse than illegals who come across. Yeah, good vet, beautiful vet, right? We're going to take good care of you. No, I don't know if you saw that over the weekend in Phoenix. This is where really a lot of bad news came out 2 years ago in the area. A lot of dishonesty, a lot of corruption. It's worse than ever.
They gave a bonus.
2 days ago, you saw it.
They gave a bonus.
It takes so long to get a doctor. People are dying. They're dying, waiting to get a doctor for something that could be a procedure or a pill or something really little, not a big deal. And they're dying. And these are our vets. This is why we're here. These are great people. We've got to take care of our vets. So we're going to take care of our vets. And you are holding me to that, right? You better believe it. No, we're going to take care of our vets. So we're going to build it so big, so strong. And the funny is that you build your military really strong. It's really the cheapest thing you can do because you don't have to fight. Nobody wants to mess with you. Nobody's going to mess. Right now, General Oriano, when he left, he said our country is the least prepared that it's ever been. Talking about the Army. Who's on television again? All these guys are if I had one of my generals, even if they're retiring, if I had one, I'd say, don't say we're weak, even if we are.
Right.
Don't say we're weak.
Right.
He said we're the least prepared. I think he said in history, maybe from World War II, it's almost like, what difference does it make? It's a hell of a long time. That we're the least prepared ever. And I'm saying, Even if it's true, don't say it. Don't say it. Why would the enemy have? Why do we have to have that on television? And then we had the other guy saying how tough it's going to be. I see so many of these people on television. You know, there are certain words to describe what's happening with our country. And I used to say we're incompetently led. I gave up the word incompetent because it's really not good enough. What's the word we use? Stupid. Stupid. So we have to be, you know what's so important? We have to be unpredictable. We're too predictable. Even these guys. I get up before these debates, and some of these, and by the way, debates, speaking of it, look at, see the small Trump on top? That's just because it's my paper, I don't know. But on the bottom, they have Make America Great Again, GOP debate. Who won in the polls? These are all separate polls. Listen to this. Drudge is an incredible guy. Drudge, 46%. Now, you got to understand, again, 15, 16 people, 46%. Time magazine, other than I was on the cover 4 weeks ago, they do nothing for me, believe me. Because I should have been man of the year, but that's right? I don't say it. I said they'll never pick me because I'm not established.
You're our man of the year.
They thank you. I'll be your man of the year. Well, you know, I really want to be man of the year in a year from now, a couple of years from now, when we want to straighten this mess out and then let it go. So, Time Magazine, 49. Slate, 51. Syracuse.com, 49. U.S. News and World Report, 69%. PBS, Public Broadcasting. I mean, you know, people think, these polls, because they're online, they got to do them immediately, right? They think I'm sitting by a phone calling in. They're getting 100,000 calls. I'm not making that many calls. I'm not going to spend that much money. It's not worth it. So anyway, PBS, 69% said I won the debate, right? Washington Times, 62%. CBS, 59%. Fox 5 Las Vegas, 62%. And NewJersey.com, 49%. Think of it. I mean, and then I go home and I watch these very, very dishonest people. Well, Trump was okay in the debate. He was okay. Not his best night. I said, I thought I did great. You know, I said, how about Bush where he makes a commercial? You know, he's trying to show he's tough, right? Tough. He's trying to show his energy. I said, you're doing better. You keep going. Another 20 years, you'll be okay. No, he's trying to show his. So he makes a commercial about me. Yeah. He's spending millions and millions of dollars. Okay? Yeah. And he has me standing. And he's doing all the talking. Because when I'm ready to talk, where every time I talk, he got killed. Right. But where I'm ready to talk, they don't have me talking. So it goes, and you will do this, and you will do that, and Donald Trump. And I'm saying, do I ever get to talk? So they can't understand me there. Like, do you remember when I talked? I said, wait a minute. I'm at 42%. You're at 2%. You started off over here next to me. Now you're falling off the end of the stage. Think of how dishonest. That's actually dishonest advertising. How do you do a commercial where you're talking, but he cuts off your talk? I mean, where everybody said I won the debate. And by the way, you know who last in the debate came out? I think it was Bush. He came in last time. Either Bush or Kasich. I'm not sure which one. But one of them came out low. I think it was Bush. He came out with 1%. Who the hell voted for him? It was his family. And I don't think he's a bad person. I really don't. But we can't go by this anymore. We gotta get this done. We need people that really know what the hell they're doing. We need people that are going to take back our jobs from China, from Mexico, from Japan, from Vietnam. We need it. But he said, because I turned on, I'm coming up today and I see the television. It's ads over and over and over again. I keep looking. I don't even watch this myself. I always watch things when I'm on, right? I can't even watch it anymore. I just say, turn it off. It's so boring. But again, he's saying, and I don't get a chance to answer. So what's the purpose of an ad like that? Now, most people saw the debate, right? So you know what I'm saying. So I think it has no impact. I don't know. You know, spend 10 million or 18 million or something on ads. it's going to be very interesting what's happening. Again, get out a vote. Here's another one. So the press, you know how I feel. They're very dishonest people. They're very bad people. Some are fine, but I mean, for the most part, these are really sleazebags. These are bad people. They're bad. I go to stadiums, we fill up stadiums, and I tell the cameras to turn the cameras. If they won't turn the cameras, they won't turn them. They don't show how many people. And all the time, I say it. My wife, she said, were there many people there tonight? I said, well, did you watch? Yeah, it was live. I said, they didn't show it again? And I tell them, turn the camera, they won't do it. But if there's a protester, one protester will stand up in a corner of the room, or in a corner of a stadium, and it's the only time, I actually like protesters, because the only time you see how many people are there is when there's a protest. They focus on my face, which I don't like. I don't like that. I want to see the crowd. I like the crowd better than my face. I mean, what can I tell you, right? I love you too, darling. So I want to tell you, so we had an interesting thing. Because you have a very dishonest newspaper up here. It's also a failing newspaper. It's going down to tubers. I remember when this was a big paper. Look at the size of this thing. If they cut it down anymore, you won't be able to find it. It looks like the things, you know, when you go to the grocery store where they give you a little handout. What do they call that? Coupons. So this guy, his name's Joe McQuaid. He's a lowlife, I'm telling you. Here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. So I thought he's useless. I thought he was fine. I thought he was an aggressive guy. He'd call me, he'd talk to me, he'd want me to come up and make a speech in New Hampshire. I'd do it. He asked me to help James Foley, which I liked very much. I gave him a big contribution to his parents. His parents are great people. He asked me to speak at that event. I spoke at that event. He asked me to do many, many things. He'd go through a whole litany of things. Then he said, would you do me a big favor? Would you come to have a debate? Now, I've never debated. I never did this. You know, I'm a job producer. I built jobs. I built a great company. And if I didn't do a great company, I wouldn't be talking. I'm not a debater. That's why I'm so impressed that I'm winning all these debates. But a lot of it's common sense. I mean, let's face it, right? But I'm a job producer. I'll be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. That I can say. But this guy, McQuaid, first he wants ads. I say, ads. And I go and I see he's doing very bad. He tells me the paper's doing terribly, which it is. It's doing very badly. He's going to move out of his space or something. The building is like an empty building. And it's doing, but I don't care about that stuff. And then he calls me up a fairly short time ago, and he said, would you do me a favor? What? Because I have 10 million between Facebook and Twitter. More than 10 million people. I have a big following, to put it mildly. He said, could you do me a favor? Chris Christie is not on the big stage. Could you tweet that he should be? Now think of it. Now he may try and deny it, but it's off the shelf. I didn't put it there for my health. Go check out. I said, do you really want me to do that? I mean, it sounds a little bit strange for me to be saying, you're supposed to get on there by yourself, right? He said, well, I'd consider it a thing. I tweet. It would be nice to have Chris Christie on the stage. You know, I felt like a little weird. People call me saying, what did you do that for? I said, Joe McQuaid from the, I figured I'd get some better treatment, right? Then he asked me for different things, and then he asks me, he said, would you play around a golf with me up in New Hampshire at his course? He's a member of the club.